Welcome back to an episode of Who Wants to Be a Mathematician? I'm your host, Mr. Hill. Today we're talking about solving right triangles using trigonometry. So let's start off with this triangle here. So let's say we have a right triangle where it's R, S, and T. They give us the angle T as 12 degrees, so we come into our T, and our S is 12. So S is going to be the side opposite our angle S, so this is 12. So we want to solve the right triangle, so we need to 1. Find all the angles, and 2. Find all the sides. So simply enough, we can find all the angles. We know that 90 plus 12 plus our angle R is equal to 180. So doing some math, we figure out that it is going to be 88 degrees. Angle R is going to be 88. And so now we just need to solve for the sides. Well, we need to solve for R and we need to solve for T. So I'm going to pick an angle. So I'm going to pick angle T. And I want to solve for, let's say, I don't know, side T. And the side that I know is side S. So I have an angle. T is going to be my opposite. And then S is going to be my hypotenuse. So T is going to be the opposite side and S is going to be my hypotenuse. So when we have opposite and hypotenuse using SOHCAHTOA, we know that sine of our angle T is going to be equal to our opposite over our hypotenuse. We have sine, our angle is going to be 12, is equal to our opposite is our T, and our hypotenuse we know to be 12. So if we do sine of 12, we're going to get 0.208 is equal to T over 12. We multiply both sides by 12, and we're going to get 2.49 is equal to T. So we know T is equal to 2.49. So now we just need to find R. We can find R using Pythagorean theorem, where R squared plus T squared is equal to our hypotenuse squared. So R squared plus the 2.49 squared is equal to 12 squared. So if we do that squared, we're going to get R squared plus 6.22 is equal to 144. So 144 minus our 6.22 is going to be R squared, and that comes out to 137.77, or rather 78. So we know that R is equal to the square root of 137.78 is equal to, and if we take the square root, we find that it's going to be 11.74. So we have solved our triangle. Hooray! We found all our angles, we found all our sides, and thus we're done. So let's solve another triangle. If we have a right triangle where D is going to be our right angle, tells us right there. So if we have D, E, and F, we know that we want to find angle E, so we're going to search for angle E. We know that F, our little f, is equal to 17, and our D is equal to 32. So we have an angle, and we have our adjacent side to our angle, and we have our hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse are related to theta with cosine. So we have this, so we know cosine of theta is going to be equal to 17 divided by 32. And to undo our cosine side, we simply take the inverse, so we do cosine inverse of theta, not of theta, cosine inverse of cosine theta is equal to cosine inverse of 17 over 32. cosine and cosine cancel out, so we're left with theta is equal to, and if we plug that into our calculator, cosine inverse of 17 divided by 32 gives us 57.9 degrees. Make sure you have your little degree sign there, because that's what it is. Last but not least, we have secant of cosine inverse of 2/5. So this part right here is going to tell us how to set up our triangle. So if we have our triangle, we have theta, we have a right angle. And if we have cosine, we know cosine of theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So our adjacent side is going to be our 2. So adjacent is that. We know this is going to be our hypotenuse. So we have 5. And it's asking us what is secant of that. Well, secant is equal to 1 over cosine of theta. And we know cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So this is going to be equal to 1 over our adjacent over our hypotenuse. This is equal to 5/2. And there you have it.